Politics of stubbornness. After the Israelis went to the polls for the fourth time in 2 years, turns out that the political system is tangled up and can't release itself. The world is laughing at us. That we went to the polls for 4 times and came back with the exact same result. It seems delusional, but the stubbornness in the meantime costs us dearly here. The country is paralyzed, and especially now, in these difficult times with the pandemic and everything, and still everyone's entrenched in their own opinion. Why? Because this is who we are. This is the nature of Jews, that they're so stubborn. It's a kind of curse. Yeah, it's a curse. This is what our nature is. But what are we actually stubborn about? Everyone's certain that he's right and that his opinion will save the country. And people aren't just saying, a person believes what he says. He does. It's not foolish stubbornness that this is what I want and that's it. Can it lead us to something good or only to a dead end, a paralysis like we see now? Eventually, they'll reach a state where we have no choice, one way or another, and, with the help of the upper force, will ask and ascend. But it won't come from our intellect. Our stubbornness won't allow us to. When you say the upper force, what do you mean? There's a force that's stronger than the Israeli stubbornness? Just one. Who is this force? Him. What do you mean, him? Nature. In Gematria, God equals nature. He can change our nature. So if we're talking about God, is he stubborn? He is the most stubborn. This why, this how we are too? Yeah. Is God Jewish? If that's the Jewish character, then he is. It's not something random, it's a root, right? Yeah, true. We are a stubborn people. It's written so about us. So what's going to happen with this nation, with this country? Only when they will understand that there is a higher reason and that it tells them to do things one way and not another. How will we know what the higher mind, upper mind is saying? The upper mind is the divine reason? Yes. And what is he telling us to do? He's telling us that we have to reach love another as yourself. And how will that solve the political entanglement, for example? That all of us will shift from hate to love, from separation to connection. Look, if we're already talking about God, then one of the biggest disputes in the country is between the secular and the religious. I'm not talking about that at all. So what are you talking about when you talk about the divine mind? The upper mind. What can that force do with our stubbornness? The force of nature or the upper force? That we will understand that there's a higher principle than stubbornness. What? The principle of us having to be together as one man and one heart, all of us together, and this will save us from everything. What gives the stubborn the strength to be together? To attribute the principle of stubbornness to something new. Instead of each for himself, for all of us together. To be stubborn about being together? Yeah? It sounds like conceding, a kind of weakness. You had an opinion and you conceded it. What was I stubborn about? About your opinion? You thought that you were right, that you know how to run the country, and now I have a new opinion. What is it? That we all have to be connected. Why? Because I take this as the leading principle in life. Why? Because I understand that all parts of reality are interconnected. So why aren't people interconnected? Why aren't Jews interconnected? Because in them acts the egoistic force. How will we subdue this egoistic force? Only by changing our attitude toward it. What will the connection give us? This way, I sit in the corner with my own stubbornness and just hold on to it. What I have? Nothing. But I hold on to it stubbornly. And otherwise, the entire world's mine. Everything's mine. Do you believe that there's hope that we Israelis will be able to grasp this vision? Let's convince everyone. How many more times do you think we'll have elections? Every 6 months. Why not? So, see at the elections. Yeah, it's a custom already. A Jewish custom. The entire world's making fun of us. Yeah, we're crying. My son, he told me a joke that if you want to find a steady job, you should work on the election committee. It's so sad that it's funny. In conclusion, this stubbornness, what's going to happen to it? So again, I'm telling you, nothing will happen to this stubbornness. It's the beauty of our nature, only that it has to be connected with this new inclination toward connection. And this is something that we won't give up, but everything's towards connection.